All right, guys. Hello. Welcome back to the next lesson in the PvP guide. So today we're going to assume that you've already seen the first two videos and your point shooting skills and your scav killing skills are at the point where you no longer find the initial challenge to be a challenge. Well, now is after you've gotten that basic competency where you can calmly kill scavs, locate them, etc., and your hipfire is accurate, then what you want to focus on is until you get to the level where you want to be every day, you're going to want to kind of go through the same routine of practicing before you play. And that way you're always going to gain skills. That provides a little bit of a warm-up experience for you, a little bit of a warm-up period, which can help a lot to prevent you from dying in the first raid that you go into. And yeah, it'll make you much better overall now. This next challenge is much more challenging than the challenge in the first lesson, and I'm going to detail that too, but a bit later. So when I first started trying to get better at PvP, I was already experienced in the game in many other ways, but my combat skills were lacking. So I did all these lessons that I'm showing you guys, and I did these too. So what I did was I did this whole routine pretty much every day for at least 3,000 hours, pretty much an entire wipe. And the gains in my skill that I got were incredible. So I'm going to detail that whole process now. So basically what you want to do is you want to go in with a kit that you're going to run in a normal raid. Now, I was going to run a pistol run loot run with this, but unlike as an online, impossible scavs have more health, usually level 4 armors and some sort of helmet. They have better accuracy and quicker reactions. The only thing that really separates them from raiders is what gear they have. They have normal scav gear, and that their aim when they do shoot at you is a little bit worse in that they don't go for your head, they go for your body still, like scavs, whereas raiders will typically go for your face. So they're pretty serious, and many people aren't able to complete the same challenge on impossible as they can as an online, especially not on their first try. So if you end up doing this whole thing and getting curb stomped by the AI, don't be hard on yourself. Just realize you have a little bit more to learn. But before we go into the offline, one thing that I do is actually I go here to the hideout, and first we're going to want to warm up our aim. So make sure your laser's on or whatever, put your gun in single fire, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to warm up our hip fire for about 3 magazines. Okay, and on the last magazine, you can even enter this and practice moving around and hitting him. Oh, don't turn around too much or your gun goes down. All right, so you could do that as many times as it takes until you feel like you got it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to want to go back and we're going to do the same thing, but with ADSing. I just started playing today, so this is going to be legit kind of what it looks like when I warm up too. I'm not perfect from the beginning. Okay. And then you can either do a full set of those or you can do one of these. I usually do this after I do a set of the first one. For the sake of the video, I'm not going to keep repeating these exercises, but I would probably continue to do this until the misses that I'm getting don't happen anymore. Alrighty. And then you can practice your spray control here, too. But the magazines are small in this, alright. But you'd want to run through that until you feel a little bit warmed up before you go to the scavs, especially as you're learning to kill them. All right, and then when I go into offline, like I said, I bring whatever kit I'm planning on running. So don't worry about armor and helmet and stuff, because ideally you're not going to really get hit much with proper execution. Though in the beginning you probably will. All right, so horde mode, impossible difficulty, and then ready. Okay, guys, so we're going to be using the same principles that I taught you in the first lesson, such as information gathering, visually locating the enemy, and then executing the enemy, basically, right? Now, the only difference is that with their greater reactions, they're much more deadly. So any mistake that you make is going to be basically very obvious, because you're going to end up getting hit. But I will show you how I go through it. Basically, you're going to want to, unlike the last one where you played it carefully, you're used to killing the scavs in their positions now if you practiced in the last one. So we're just going to run through, and we're going to treat it like a real raid, basically, as if we're just searching and destroying everything on the map. Got information? Wow. Look how fast that guy shot. Might have been a little buggy, though, because I didn't actually see a gunshot. So one thing that this will also do that's really good is it will teach you how to get comfortable with your medicine and stuff. And you'll notice that my stomach is blacked out. Well, anytime that happens to my arm or my leg, I like to leave it injured so that I get used to fighting with a blacked out leg or a blacked out arm. And that, therefore, you know, in combat, it doesn't really affect my performance or anything. See how fast they shoot? Anytime that they shoot at you, you need to change position, basically, like I did, and you just need to get into cover. The way that scavs work, if we haven't figured it out already, is they see you, they voice line, they wait, and they shoot. Now, the difference between most scavs and these scavs is that the waiting period is pretty much non-existent. So anytime you hear them yell, you need to take cover, or they're gonna basically end up getting shots on you. So I'm not going to explain how I'm locating and killing these guys, because you guys should have already learned that in the last video that I showed you. So that's another reason why this is more challenging, because when you turn a corner and there's more than one guy there, their reaction speed is so great that you typically get shot. So you need to have just as fast aim and control, or whatever you want to call it, when you encounter them, so that you can get headshots like that and not get messed up. So another good tip for PvP is the only thing you really need in PvP to be healed up is your head and your chest, because those are your critical areas. So everything else, it's whatever. And remember, we're still going to try to go for 25 and 50%. So we need to get 25 kills with at least 50% headshots. And we just keep going through like this. You really got to make sure to check every angle. just like that. They could be anywhere. The spawns are a little more aggressive than otherwise, I feel like. Alright, got information. Oh, should have probably played that a little slower, but we're able to react well enough. Shouldn't have pushed so hard. I should have known that my ammo was low. This is why you bring in so many mags, guys. They really can be like some severe bullet sponges. And if you're like me and you're using a gun that's not so great, like the UMP, in the grand scheme of things, great early game gun, but not a great gun in the compared to the rest of them, accuracy-wise, then you're going to need a lot more bullets than you might otherwise. So you're going to want to make sure to prepare for that. Don't bring in just 3 or 4 magazines, because all that's going to do is shorten your training session. Unless that's what you want, you know? So ideally, you practiced the techniques and the sound and all that stuff that you learned practicing the first lesson against the scavs, to where you can kind of play this faster like I am, just sprinting around and stuff. Because what I'm doing is I'm sprinting around, is I'm listening, and I'm checking the hidey holes and all that. But mainly I'm just listening and using that, because anytime that we see a scav, like right there, we can just kind of evade them. But say we turn the corner and there's a scav here, and there is, then we can just do that. We just go back around the corner, and then wait a bit, and then re-peek them. Because make sure you wait a little bit and don't re-peek them right away, because that allows their aggro to reset, in a sense. Otherwise, if they're already looking at you and you just try to pop back out, all you're going to do is get insta-tapped by them, because they're already kind of locked on. So keep that in mind. Alright. I'll go clear out a little bit of the area we haven't been in yet. That shit's so funny. Yo, looks like a wacky waving arm inflatable tube man. He ate that. Very, very dangerous when you go out and expose yourself on elevation like that, because so many can see you. And they're quite accurate. I gotta take some painkillers just so my guy shuts the hell up. Alright guys, I'm gonna try to go through the rest of this as fast as I can, just for some examples of how I do this. And then we'll look at the score and see how many I got. It may look just like the last one, the last exercise, and that's because it is, but much, much harder. So don't judge it till you try it, guys. I've never once had someone come to me and say that running these offline modes didn't help them out become a better player. I swear it. I've had over a dozen people that I've showed how to do this, how to practice like this, try it out for themselves, and the confidence levels and skill levels with combat and all that, and their survival went up by a ton. We're almost out of ammo. Where's my stamp? I have no energy or water. I do have elite metabolism though, so it's not going to kill me, but Let's kill any scabs over by med tent and then extract and see what we got. Oh no. Ah. Okay. GG's. Oh. Okay, let's see here. All right, cool. So I would have passed. Sometimes I set the standard as 30, but I got 29 kills with 22 headshots, so I would have passed. Simple enough, right? And that's really it, guys. There's going to be more videos pertaining to more advanced stuff, specifically, such as like grenades and mentality and movement and stuff. But this is really the next step. And there's more steps and another advanced step beyond even this. But I would be surprised if the majority of you try this and you could get it on your first try. If you're able to get over 25 kills on your first try, post about it in the comments below, letting me know your high score and your headshots. And I would be really interested to know genuinely, because out of all the people I've shown this to, maybe 2 of them have ever been able to complete the challenge on the first day of trying. But yeah, check it out for yourself, guys. You'll see improvements. If this video helped you at all, try to give it a like, guys. We're not in the YouTube algorithm yet, and trying to get there, so I would appreciate it. And catch you on the next one.